Hey guys, this is Drakkalan bringing you another Kingdom of Heroes Tactics War video. Today we're going to talk about where to XP farm. So for those of you that are new to this type of game, the conditions to winning or being the best is to kind of level up your heroes, and you have to level up fodder to level up those heroes, right? So if we take a look at my hero pool real quick, I'm a little overloaded right now. And for those of you that have been following me since we started the game, we managed to get up to 8 Nat 5s now. So we're not doing great, not doing bad. I've got a twin brother that plays. He's bought 2 packs and he's up to 7 Nat 5s. So he's definitely had more luck than I have. We also bought a couple of L&D scrolls. Still working on the best way to round up L&D scrolls. So just to cover those guys real quick, we've got Guardian, Shax, Dark Hero. He seems like he's going to be pretty nice. He does defense, break, provoke, and self-healing. This is the hero I'm kind of really looking at too. Matt, he's also a fighter type, but most fighters kind of double up as a tank. They usually have a provoke skill, and even though the name's Matt, that's a I don't know. I don't know if it's supposed to be a female or not, based on the body style and the face. But who am I to judge, right? You guys make your own decisions. So looking at the skills real quick, why I like this hero. One, they've got a leader skill, and I really need a good leader skill to put into some of my PvP teams. So that 30% attack for all allies is going to be great. So not missing anything on that one, and it doesn't involve doing skill ups to it. So we can all the skill ups we'll give them will go straight to the character instead of having to go into a passive stat. So Soul Scratch, if you guys take a quick look at this, it's got a target area, meaning it can't hit multiple enemies. A successful hit has a 50% chance to inflict continuous damage for 2 turns, right? So instead of being a 1-turn continuous damage like we see with a lot of these heroes, it's going to be 2 turns. Make sure I'm recording. Yep. Skill 2, Soul Absorption pierces through a target enemy to attack. So it means it's going to go through an enemy. I'm assuming this is going to hit multiple enemies as well. Successful hits increase your defense for 2 turns and recovers 80% of damage inflicted as HP. So don't need vampire runes on him. He's going to self-heal on his skill 2 and give himself a defense boost, which is great. If his HP is above 60%, you provoke the target for 2 turns and Soul Absorption's cooldown is reset. So not only is it a skill turn reset for his S2, that provoke is going to be nice, and he's only going to provoke if he's got the HP to take the damage. And then he's going to self-heal with the defense buff. So I think for him, we're just going to build him as high as we can for HP to try to keep his HP above that 60% so that he can sit there and take as many turns as possible with that skill 2 while keeping the target provoked and on him while keeping his defense buffs self-maintained. Hand of Evil Spirit slashes the target enemy with the Hand of Evil. This skill's damage increases when the enemy has more active debuffs. If the target survives your attack, you leave a spiritual scar on the target to block HP recovery for 2 turns. If your HP percent is less than the target, Soul Absorption's cooldown is reset. So his S3 can also reset S2. So what I like about this guy, right, is Ingwe. Ingwe is extremely popular for Guild War defense and for arena defense. He's a great character. Really hope they put him on the preferred list pretty soon so I can just buy some crystals and get him. If you guys want to know my opinion on the best starting heroes, I would say Ingwe or Ifrit. Ifrit's probably the best farmer in the game. Again, my opinion, because she's got AoE damage, hits pretty hard. And then Ingwe is great if you guys want to jump straight into PvP and do pretty well in the arena. He can pretty much solo stall on his own if he's got good enough runes. I mean, eventually our attack units will get good enough where he won't be able to do it by himself. But you put him in with a Vivian, then Ifrit, which is his innate counter, is not going to be able to counter him as easily. So that's why you see a lot of Ingwe's just doing extremely well, and a lot of people recommend him. But he's not going to be able to farm and level up heroes as fast as Ifrit. So this guy right here is going to help defeat Ingwe by giving our Ifrit that 30% attack boost, and with this Soul Absorption blocking HP recovery. So if Ifrit's HP recovery block misses, here's a second chance to do it. So it's just going to give us more chances to win the fight. And he's dark, so he's going to be neutral, accuracy, and crit down against all the other element types that we're going to be going up against. So he's going to help take out Vivians and everything else we've been struggling with in arena. So that's my plan right now. I'm going to take Matt up. Shaq, will look at him later. And then the attacker, Mero, right? So she's a tank as well. Skill 1, Spear of Waves. Attacks enemies within a target area with a Spear of Waves. Successful hits have a 60% chance to steal 1 buff from enemies hit. Successfully stealing a buff reduces the Dance of Waves cooldown by 1 turn. Skill 2, Lorelei's Song. Inflicts damage on enemies within the target area. Successful hits reduce attack of enemies hit for 2 turns. So pairing her up with Matt, I think it's going to be a great option with that attack down. That's the reason I'm probably going to build her up as strongly as I can with a decent amount of accuracy just to make sure she can land this debuff. And then skill 3 for her is stabs a target enemy and pierces through them. Successful hits provoke the target for 2 turns. This skill's damage increases when you have more active buffs. Mero has a 70% chance to gain an action opportunity if she has an active buff. So we want to make sure we have another unit in here. We'll probably put Vivian just because she's a pretty strong healer in there. And she can steal buffs, so she's going to be able to put her own buffs on. Again, great for Ingwe. Ingwe self-buffs as well, so she can steal his buffs, put them on herself, and now she's equaling out on survivability. Her S4, once she gets awoken, is going to be Stream of Grief. She has a 35% chance to counterattack if she is attacked within Spear of Waves skill range. So, again, I mean, Spear of Waves, if we look at that, it's a pretty decent range. So anything within that, if she gets hit, she's going to fight back. And maybe still a buff and live that much longer. So I think the two of them between Mero, Matt, Ifrit, and potentially Vivian is what I'm looking at right now is going to be my arena defense and Guild War defense team. We'll see how that works out. I've got a couple of other priests I could choose from, or I could stick Bunny in there. Sorry, my throat's getting a little dry. Sorry about that, guys. It is sinus season, and my sinuses are draining like crazy. So that covers it for that, but again, not really hitting the topic I wanted to yet. So as you can see, I've been leveling up a lot of heroes. I have a lot of 3 and 4 stars leveled. I do a lot of driving for work, so I like to be, just hit that next button and not have to pay attention. With that being the case, even though I tell you guys to focus on one hero, I play a lot. So I've just been trying to build up everything. Awakening stones, especially the void stones that you need, kind of a choke point to keep us from building everything, but we're definitely working towards it. We got a lot of skill ups in here that I need to feed. Some of them I have almost max skilled on S1, S2, so I need to awaken them so I can, finish out the other skills that need to be skilled up. The way that I'm leveling, as I said, typically your farmer, from what I've seen, is going to be either a fire hero, Ifrit, or it's going to be a water hero, whether it's Freed or somebody else. If you have a fire hero, you can use the vampire or charger runes that you get for free from completing achievements and missions. And I like to farm Conqueror 1-1. Even now at my current level, I probably still farm here more than anywhere else. As you can see, I'm still taking these new Nat 5s up. We got Bunny, we got Prey, and we got Raja. So hopefully I've got some decent tree units now. Maybe that'll help us climb a few more tower levels. I haven't gotten to rune farming yet. I haven't been doing any rune farming. I've been focused on building out my heroes. Once I get a solid team of 6 stars, then I'm going to jump into rune farming, and I'll start producing videos for that. I've had a couple of people ask, so getting there, just not quite there yet. But with Ifrit, we farm here because we have one water hero to fight against, but we've got mostly greens, so I think I cleared this in about 38 seconds, so it works out pretty well. And I've been doing that with 5-star runes when she was a 5-star. And I'll show you guys her runes in a second. The other place I like to farm with her is in 6-1. So 6-1, Conqueror. Hit start battle, see what units are in here. Right, so we've got 1 fire and 3 green. So she does pretty well in here. It's still a little bit slower because of the map design and the layout and just kind of how things play out. So she doesn't do this one as fast. I think it's a little over a minute runtime. But once I get all 6-star runes on her, that actually makes sense. Because the ones she's got now are not great runes. It'll help speed up that run, and then we'll be farming 6-1 all the time, just for that XP bust. Now, if I had a water hero, I believe it was 2-1 and 7-1. Yeah, so if I had a water hero as my farmer, I would farm 2-1, right? You got 3 fire, 1 water. It'd be pretty quick and easy to do with the vampire runes they provide, or I would do 7-1. So again, you got 2 fires and then 2 darks, so you got neutrality on the bottom 2, and having a decent strong water unit like Freed, even Whitebeard could probably be a decent farmer with his 1 AoE skill. Gregory might not be a bad choice. He seems to do pretty well. Can't think of this chick's name. Yeah, Media. She self-buffs her attack rate, or how often she can attack, so she wouldn't be a bad choice. Just make sure you read the skills. What you're looking for in a farmer is AoE and elemental advantage. But you don't want to put a priest or somebody in there that's going to spend 1 or 2 turns buffing. You want to just go straight for attack as much as possible. Green heroes I really haven't looked into. I mean, maybe it follows the same pattern. Maybe jump into here. I doubt it. Yeah. So if you guys have a green hero to be a farmer, sorry, I don't know where to farm that at. I didn't really research that. I just looked into fire and water because that's what I've got. Esperanza's probably a pretty good farmer on the water side as well. If you've got her, I haven't pulled her yet. And then real quick, let's just kind of cover Ifrit's runes. So if you guys have an Ifrit, you can you see what I'm working with to clear those stages. So we could really increase these stats a lot. What we're lacking right now is crit rate. We need at least another 20% crit rate. I'd like to have 75% plus as often as possible. If we can pull 100, that'd be even better. But I was also trying to keep her accuracy somewhat high so that she can land that continuous damage and attack down and the HP block for arena PvP. So with these stats, she's good enough to farm 6-1 Conqueror and 1-1 Conqueror. If we got that crit rate up and got that attack a little bit higher, she'd definitely farm them way faster. Her skill ups, we've already max skilled 3 of them. We're waiting on that final skill 1 to finish going up. Skill 1, I'm going to take all the way up. I thought about stopping after the effect rate. Got the last increase at level 5, but I really want that 30% damage just to see if it increases the farming time and helps in PvP. So to the runes, right, we've got her on Havoc Vampire. So I guess we'll start with S1. S1, 6-star rune. I think I got this out of the shop. So 19% accuracy and 11% attack with a 4% crit. This is a pretty decent rune. It'll probably be a while before I can replace it. I would like to see, you can see we've got probably 1 roll into max HP, which really isn't doing us any good. But most of it went to accuracy and attack, which is where we want it for her. We could increase this to plus 15, but it's not really worth the investment at the moment. I'd give her a little bit more flat attack. If we look at the slot 2 rune, right, we got a 5-star vampire rune here with attack percent, crit damage, which we can't increase, and then we got speed, defense, accuracy. So on this one, not a great rune, right? We don't need the defense, the flat defense especially, but both those stats are kind of useless. The speed is okay, but not what I would prefer to just to have crit rate on here. But we've only got so many stats to fill. I'd like that crit damage to be down here so that we can get more boost to that stat too. So this would definitely be one of the first runes we replace as we find better ones. And if we look right now, like I said, I haven't started farming runes yet. I've already sold anything that's not a 5-star or above. I'm trying not to use any of the blue 5-star runes. I want to just sell those, but I'm keeping them as placeholders in case we have to fill out somebody's stats, especially for Guild War. I try to keep a couple of runes laying around so I can plug them in depending on the team that I have to fight against. So on her, being an attack hero, like most attack heroes, you're going to want to be attack, crit damage, attack. But guess what? I don't have a crit rate or crit damage rune to plug in. I've got a speed rune. So instead of having a slot 2 and 6 attack with a crit rate rune or a crit damage rune, I'm kind of stuck with using a speed rune. It's got 15% attack on the substat, so not terrible. But this one needs to be replaced as well, and it's not a 6-star. So as you can see, we've got, I think, just one 6-star. We got 2 6-star runes on her on slot 1 and slot 3. Now the slot 3 rune is pretty decent. It's a flat defense. This is why I took it up to plus 15 already. Is the crit damage sub, crit rate, accuracy, speed, resistance. We're going to probably try to swap that if we can, and hopefully go for attack percent there, just to make this a perfectly good rune for an attacker. And we'd be able to use it in other places later down the road. And looking at the speed rune, like I said, we really need this to be crit rate, crit damage, which we don't have. I think everything we have to go in that slot is just kind of, yeah, we got some flat attack. Like, I need to go in here and sell. I need to clean up my rune box and sell some of these flat stat runes on slots we'll never use them in. And it's like we don't have a lot of slot 2 and 6 areas. We're just kind of missing out. Probably sell off all these resistance runes too for the silver. But that's it for the Ifrit. Like I said, if you guys have her, build her. She's probably the best farmer in the game. Again, my opinion. If you guys know anything better, let me know. Leave it in the comments below. Gregory's been pretty impressive, honestly, for PvP. Even at level 50, his runes and stats are pretty bad, but usually good enough to beat some of the teams we've been up against. Whitebeard, don't sleep on this guy. He's pretty decent, especially with his defense break. That's what I use him for, is to grab people, defense break them. Vivian, I haven't used her much yet. I know she's probably the best hero or healer in the game. And, well, video's getting a little long-winded. I'll leave it there. But I just wanted to kind of cover how I'm farming, where I do my XP farming. And when I set it up, one thing I like about the game, right, we can click on 1-1 Kent. Click Conqueror, click 1-1, hit Start Battle. Make sure we got the heroes in that we want, and click the repeat button. Right, so in here, I tell it to end when one hero levels up. The only time I say don't stop is if I'm farming runes or if I'm farming rifts. So I like to get vibration notifications on my phone. That way if I'm watching anime, TV, whatever the case may be, I wish we could kind of go above 20, but you know, that's all it lets us do, which is great. You know, you don't want a fully automated game. So if we get defeated, we end it. That way I can know if my team's working or not. I always leave that on. And then repeat battle ends on discovering a rift. Typically I keep that off unless I'm looking for something. I'm not looking for anything specific right now. Eventually when we start trying to build crafted heroes, that's when we'll start turning that back on. And even though this energy, right, we don't have enough energy at 57 to do more than 20 runs, as soon as you click start battle, it'll ask you to refill. The day just resets, so we've got friend points we can spend. Now we're up to 107, hit start battle. Leader skill, so more than likely one of those 3 Nat 5s I've got in there has a leader skill, but I don't really care. I like to make sure that my farmer can handle everything on her own. There's Ingwe, just bragging in my face that I don't have one. Alright, so make sure you've got ×3 turned on the bottom, and make sure you have your autoplay button running. And like I said, Ifrit will come in here, she'll do a couple of AoE attacks and make pretty short work of it. I want to say my best runtime is about 38 seconds or so. And typically what I do is any of the 2-star heroes that I've got in my box, I level them up to max, and then I go to the 1-star heroes and I level up half of those to max. Make the 2 stars I need to feed into the other 2 stars, I turn them into 3 stars. And so far we've had Protomon, little blue bunnies, that we can level up from 3-star to 4-star to make our 6 stars. Now the count right now is up to 2 6 stars, so we've got Ifrit, and then that priest I took up initially, that was a 4-star. Don't even really use her now, so I kind of regret it. But we'll find a use for her down the road. She strips buffs and does some decent healing and an attack buff. So we'll probably make a green team around her if we need to. And I would say this probably takes more turns than normal, or a little bit longer than normal with the Nat 5s, because they actually live longer than the Nat 1s and Nat 2s. Nat 1s and Nat 2s die like the first wave of attacks that hit them. So 799 life still, and we critted for 2600 damage. Not too terrible. And tons of room for improvement, right? So let's see. Don't care about the rift, right? So our best time is 32 seconds, and we just did that in 1:11. The Nat 5s being there, they're just taking too long to die, so they're slowing us down. But wasn't lying about the 30 seconds. Typically, it's about a 30-second run. And I could probably turn off those animation cameras and speed it up some more. We'll look into that later. So hopefully this helps you guys out if you're looking for a place to farm, if you're looking for farmers. If you would like to see me build a Nat 3 farmer, I may do that too. I was kind of waiting until I can rune farm to do that. And then once I'm able to farm up some runes, then we'll start building Nat 3 teams everywhere. That way all the free-to-play players that don't have a huge box of heroes to choose from, you know, I can give you guys some other options to use. Definitely got some great Nat 3s in this game. So have a good weekend, guys, and I'll probably pop out another video tonight just because I've been kind of slacking off this week.